every person
Hey
at CA who
guys,
contributes so much to our
hi,
creations.
welcome to this
And
live
also, of
stream.
course,
I
our
am
fans.
late, and yes,
Thank you
there
for
was an
believing in
issue,
us, and thank you for your
a
continued
big
support.
technical
We
issue,
can't wait to show you
but
more
gladly
of
I'm
Warhammer 3,
here, so this
stick
is
around
the
as we're
best I
about to
can do.
start. Enjoy the show.
Unfortunately, the browser couldn't work, so this is how we have to see it. The plan was totally different, but what to tell ya, at least I made it somehow. So let's see it now. I mean, my setup was totally different, everything was a lot better, but just it couldn't work for reasons. So we have to do it this way, in this kind of a window now. But I'm excited because I haven't missed anything yet. So now we're gonna see what they have for us. Hey guys, I see you in the chat, I see you. Hi Apple! Richard, Python, Optic, Paris. Hi to you guys. Dear Ivy, if you can hear it. I see that there is an audio. Maybe it's a bit too loud. I'm gonna lower it a bit. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to know. So, lowering the audio. Tell me how it is now, guys.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for the first Total War Warhammer 3 Showcase event. I'm your host Frankie Ward, and I'm here to give you an exclusive first look at what Creative Assembly has in store for the cataclysmic conclusion to the Total War Warhammer series.
Cataclysmic.
Today we'll be kicking things off with some brand new content before diving into an exclusive first look at a Total War Warhammer 3 trailer and gameplay. We'll also be hearing from the developers working on the game to learn more about the chaos you can expect to experience. So without further delay, let's get started with a glimpse into the vision for Warhammer 3 from game director Ian Roxburgh.
Total War Warhammer 3 is the grand conclusion to the Total War Warhammer trilogy. The success of the first few games has actually enabled us to be far more ambitious and expand the scale of warfare like never before. When we first embarked on this epic journey way back in 2012, we just looked at this incredibly rich and diverse amount of content that the Warhammer Fantasy universe has in it, and really wanted to make a game that contained everything. But it was very apparent early on that there's no way we could put all that stuff in and do all of it enough justice, both in terms of a Total War game and in terms of the incredible IP, just in one game. So we decided we need to do a trilogy, 3 massive games in their own right, but then fans who have played all those games and enjoyed them will get the opportunity to play one giant game at the end that combines all the content from all these 3 games in this massive world. It's the game we want to play as developers, and it's the game we knew our fans would ultimately want to play.
Okay, that's cool.
Warhammer Fantasy Battle Universe is such an incredibly rich and diverse world full of incredible monsters and giants and characters and environments and storms of magic, and you name it, it's in there, and it just provides such a brilliant tapestry to design a Total War game on. We can do things that we'd never ever be able to do in any other kind of environment, and it's been such a pleasure to work with this IP and to bring new experiences to our players that they would never have seen before in a Total War game.
That all
so now
sounds
that you
great.
know what the vision is, I think it's time to jump into our first exclusive segment. Here is the first in-engine cinematic trailer. Enjoy!
Okay, let's see it. Thank you, dear Ivy. Is that the same from yesterday? Well, now we're gonna see. Oh yeah, that's the trailer from yesterday. Unless they put some new footage in it, but I doubt it. Hey, Dark.
The motherland has turned her back on us. Exiled to a wasted land. Brothers and sisters betrayed. Whilst the meek cling to power. Is it just?
I was really hoping, you know, for a newer trailer.
To be the bulwark the world relies on?
You know, maybe they should have released the trailer now with this showcase, and then yeah, then released it separately, but instead they did the opposite. They released the trailer separately and now they show it here. Well, okay. I mean, it's a great trailer.
We are molded by it.
Yeah, I don't know why actually they're using this girl to present the story. That's interesting. I actually thought that this is going to be yesterday, so so yeah, things are kind of switched this time. Is that so, Ferris? I don't remember if I've seen her before. Well, that's just the best shot. Okay, let's see what else. What else you have for us? Gameplay itself.
That had everything. Giant elemental bears, bloodthirsty demons, and one cold-blooded ice witch that you wouldn't want to mess with. And now, for the moment you've been patiently waiting for. The world premiere of Total War Warhammer 3 gameplay. It's time to unsheath your swords and get ready to invade the realm of Khorne in the all-new survival battle mode. Let's jump into the action.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, we know.
Here it is, the first look at Total War Warhammer 3 gameplay. Today we'll be testing our mettle in an epic new game mode, Survival Battle. Survival battles drop us into the heart of enemy territory. To prevail, we'll need to deploy our defenses by spending supplies on a variety of barricades, projectile towers, traps, reinforcements, and buffs. In this particular survival battle, we're taking the fight to Khorne, seizing 3 victory points as we progress through the ruined fort with the Brass Citadel and its gatekeeper as our goal. But our invasion into Khorne's domain will be hard fought. We'll be repelling 3 waves of lesser demons before going toe-to-toe with an exalted bloodthirster.
Yeah.
As the battle begins, we find ourselves immediately set upon. Some quick flanking and a blast of Catarine's ice magic sets us up for a swift initial win.
That reminds me of Total War.
Now that the way ahead is clear, we can
2.
progress to capture the first victory point and start our defensive preparations. We'll use our structures, which have been built from salvage found in Khorne's realm, to our tactical advantage. They'll help us herd our foes into kill zones so we can take control of and maintain the battle's flow. We'll place barricades on either side of the victory point and block off all easy routes up the main ramps. This will funnel the bulk of the demons towards the side ramps, where our Hussar Guard will hold the line. Meanwhile, our towers, Kossars, and Catarine will tear them apart.
Okay.
Here they come.
I'm not sure if I can do that. I mean, I'm not sure if I can understand all the things that I'm supposed to understand in these games. When I played Total War...
To quickly slide between engagements. To help ease the load on our
Okay,
Guard, we'll use her
wait.
devastating Frost Fang ability and Heart of Winter spell.
Oh, I definitely like that.
Against such insurmountable odds, our warriors are sure to tire and take losses. Thankfully, we can keep our army fighting fit with the replenishments menu.
Sorry, I lowered it too much.
Likewise, we can dramatically improve a unit's performance with the upgrades menu, where we'll buff weapons, armor, and other essential items. But that won't be enough to take us to the Brass Citadel. We'll need to call fresh troops into the slaughter with the recruitment menu. Our defense is holding thanks to our Streltsy reinforcements, but the demons keep coming. Our goal lies beyond the first victory point, and we need to press onwards. With the bulk of the enemy in one convenient narrow corridor, a decisive charge from our winged lancers should put a swift end to their assault.
I'm just wondering how my PC is gonna handle this, even if I can't play it. But basically, I was just clicking things, and they went to fight, and that's it. So that is how I
deeper into enemy territory.
play that game. But by that time, it was so buggy that I had to stop anyways. So I never actually learned. Yeah, that's what happened.
The defense of the second point begins shortly. We've only a brief respite before the demonic hordes come anew, and haven't much time to arrange our units and structures. As we progress, we'll expand our pool of available troops, summoning higher tier units to meet the challenge of an ever-growing threat.
Oh boy.
With healing and buffing abilities, and a bear mount to briskly carry him between units in need, the Patriarch is a strong addition to our forces.
Yeah, I know, Ferris.
Slave has fallen to Little Grom's ancient and roaring fusillades. Fighting alongside it stokes pride into the hearts of all Kislevites. And rightfully so. Right now, Little Grom, with help from the Ice Guard and other units, is making steady work of the demons assaulting our western wall.
I just prefer to be inside the action, you know, in third person. And somehow these things to be coordinated from outside, I don't know. Something like that. So maybe a combination between a strategy and action game would be good, so we can choose what to play.
Flanks are in danger of being overrun. A second artillery unit should help even the odds.
And if it's made simpler, the strategy aspect, that could work. So you can like plan a few attacks, and at the same time you're in and you're fighting in third
Losing a
person.
victory
That
point
would
and
be
getting
ideal.
flanked now could spell disaster.
One final push to the boiling moat.
Looks
We
cool.
must seize the
Otherwise,
icon of
I mean, it looks
torment
very,
and
very
tempt
cool.
Korn's gatekeeper from his lair.
But it looks like it's gonna be very heavy game, I
Here
think.
we make our final push. Tired and bloodied from our march into chaos, we face two waves of demons, bolstered with heroes, cavalry, artillery, and the gatekeeper himself. Now is the time to rain the full force of Ursun's wrath down upon our foes, and do our best to survive. But to endure the coming storm, we'll need Kislev's fiercest defender.
The coolest things are coming, yes.
Despite
Yes,
Korn's
Varys.
overwhelming numbers, we're standing strong. Kislev's superior ranged capabilities mixed with the staunch bulwark of the Tsar Guard and the capacity to restore our troops from the replenishment menu and the Patriarch's abilities means we're deeply entrenched. With that in mind, we can stand to be a bit more aggressive. With so many demons packed together tightly, Katarin's Frostfang ability and her other offensive spells prove ruinous. And with Korn focused on piercing our Tsar wall, we can unleash our Warbear Riders and other cavalry to wreak havoc in their flanks. Add the Elemental Bear's ranged Elemental Breath ability and a continuous rain of fire from our Little Grom units, and we soon find ourselves prevailing against the third wave.
Prepare for the fight of your lives.
Here he is, the Gatekeeper, an exalted bloodthirster. This greater demon of Korn is war, brutality, and murder incarnate. No mortal man could hope to stand against one and survive. Thankfully, we have a giant ice bear. If we're not careful, Korn's Gatekeeper will systematically devastate and rout our infantry, sowing discord and creating holes in our wall. We need to keep him focused on the Elemental Bear whilst peppering him with ranged attacks and spearing him with our anti-large infantry, like the Ice Guard. The quicker we tank the Gatekeeper down, the sooner we claim victory.
Okay, so this just gets a lot more complicated.
Katarin's magic, the Elemental Bear's ferocity, and the continuous assault of our army is too much for even Korn's greatest of champions. We stand triumphant. But Korn is not the only dark god with a realm in this accursed place. The battle is won, but the war goes on.
Yeah, This has so much potential for an
Ian, thank you
RPG.
so much for joining us. And I
It's
have to
just
say
crazy.
that survival battle was
A
wild.
lot,
So
so
how
you
does it
know,
feel to finally
damn it.
reveal gameplay?
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been brilliant. We know how much the fans have been eagerly anticipating the first gameplay footage, and the team and I are absolutely ecstatic to be able to finally show some, particularly considering this is such a new and unique battle type that's never been seen before in a Total War game.
The Realms of Chaos seem like a really bold design choice. Why have you decided to go beyond the mortal planes to include them?
Well, first of all, it was always our intention to actually explore the entire Warhammer fantasy universe within the trilogy, and splitting up the four gods in this way has really given us an opportunity to look at each of them in more detail, because they're so incredibly rich and diverse in terms of their content. And the Chaos Realms themselves are a crazy place with incredible environments, and it's really given us a chance to explore new features and gameplay and bring some creativity and innovation that players may not have expected to see from the third
Wait
game.
for the
Opening
Warhammer
up the Chaos
animations,
Realms
but
has quite literally
I'm actually
given us
thinking if
brand
I
new
can
dimensions to be
watch
able to
all the
explore in terms
cutscenes
of
from this
gameplay and
game, I'm
features.
gonna be very happy.
Is there anything you're specifically hoping players take away from their experience with the game?
Well, first of all, I just want the fans who have played the game to really feel like we've ended off the trilogy in the best possible way and gone out with a big bang and made it the very best Total War Warhammer game we possibly could have. Throughout the design of the game, we've spent a lot of time really understanding what our fans have wanted from the first few games and stuff that we as developers would have wanted, and tried our very best to get as many of those things in as we could. This is the third game in a trilogy, and so we really want people who have played the first few games to still feel familiar with the game and immediately feel comfortable that it's the same environment that they've immersed in for hundreds of hours playing the first few games, but at the same time bringing loads of innovative and interesting new features to keep them challenged and keep surprising people with things that they maybe not have expected in the third game. But ultimately, the whole trilogy is all about fun. That's been the guiding factor from the start. We really want people to just jump in and from the word go, just have hours of fun playing the game and immersing themselves in this incredibly rich and unique universe.
That's the thing, I'm not sure I can be
couldn't agree
immersed in
more,
this,
Ian.
but
Finally, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans watching?
Yes, we'd like to thank them all for their incredible support and devotion over the last few years with Warhammer 1 and 2. It's been incredible, and
I mean, at least from what I've seen from all the Total War games, you can spend a lot more time in the menu rather than in the game itself playing out the battle. So, you know, planning, resources, exchanging stuff. Yeah, that's why I'm lost. And they lost me, so to speak, because I don't want to be in the menu for hours upon end just so I can plan one battle.
Teams about what you can expect to experience within this chaotic world.
Which is kind of a bummer because I really want to get
In Total
into
War Warhammer
it.
3, we'll be venturing to some of the most deadly and mysterious regions of the Warhammer Fantasy Battles universe. In Warhammer 1, we were in the Old World. In Warhammer 2, we ventured to the New World, within Lustria and Nagarond. In Warhammer 3, we'll be venturing to Kislev, to the very top and west underneath the Chaos Realms, who have been the bulwark of humanity, keeping the human civilization safe from the constant chaos incursion. But to the east, we have the mysterious, private and very ancient civilization of Grand Cathay. Beyond the mortal and humanoid realms, we can also travel to and play within the Chaos Realms themselves. 4 ruinous powers seek to rule over this place, ever seeking to slip their bonds. We have Nurgle, the Plague God, Slanesh, the Lord of Excess, Tzeentch, the Changer of Ways, and Khorne, the God of Blood, Slaughter and Rage. The inclusions of areas like the Chaos Realms has given us the opportunity to showcase the most visually distinct gameplay in Total War history. It's also allowed the design teams to really experiment and innovate with new gameplay features such as the survival battles, which really accentuates the horror and majesty of these demonic realms. The focus on the eastern fringes of the map has really allowed us to explore never before seen races in such detail in any Warhammer IP.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure.
The overall philosophy has been to really mirror the asymmetry that you see in the tabletop game that Games Workshop have created, and that provides a lot of fun as players work out what are the strengths and weaknesses of all the races and how to use those in their favour. We've really looked to push the variety in this game, both in terms of the gameplay variation, the mechanics available for each of the races, and the content of each of those races, the rosters, the units, the heroes, the spells. Kislev have a quite conventional style with their army. They're built around rock-solid line infantry. And the good thing about their line infantry is a lot of it is hybrid
I don't
infantry,
understand
so not
what is
only
that
is it
question.
awesome in melee
Why
combat,
the
but
game
they
not
have
like the
powerful
cutscene?
missile weapons as well, which allow them to hit the enemy as they approach. They're bolstered by
Well,
the
because it's a
patriarch
strategy game.
characters who will stand
That's
behind them and
why.
have a variety of support abilities, which will enhance the infantry's ability to hold the line. Alongside those, we have
I'm
ice
not really
witches and
familiar with
possibly
RTS strategies as well. I mean, real-time strategies, what exactly is the difference? I never got into these types of games. Basically, as isometric styles of games and strategies, never really play that. Except Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, which was a pretty good game. A bit of Diablo, but just a bit. Yeah, that is it actually. Yeah, Ferris. That's why I said, you know, if I watch just the cutscenes, I will be happy because it's going to be like this giant Warhammer animation.
The thought behind survival battles is we really wanted to get the players immersed in the realm of chaos. So once you've invaded it, you're basically going up to one of the Chaos God's backyards and you're trying to kick the door in essentially. We really wanted to show off the scale of that, be it with the amount of units that you're fighting.
And all the designs are great, I just, you know, wish that I can get into them and not like view from a top. I cannot connect with a game this way, you know, to just see all of those little figurines and direct them. But, you know, the cutscenes are very immersive and they get you into the game and you're so hyped and it's so amazing, and then you get into the game itself and you see all of these little things and I'm like, ah. That's how I feel about strategy games. Well, that is a super awesome bear for sure.
Physically created, or is it something that is generated by the army or via a spell? And so we came up with a nice compromise where a spell is cast and then the unit kind of comes together out of a pile of snow and trees and rocks from the ground.
I
and
haven't.
It turns in this
I
massive
haven't
entity,
played
basically,
Dawn of War Apple.
Vast swaths of units, and I think both us and Games Workshop were really happy with the approach, especially once we handed it to the animation team and really saw it moving. It's something unlike anything any players have seen before in game. In contrast to the elemental bear,
Yeah, I know about the individual troops from time to time, but it's not like personal enough. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't give me that, well, I'm a warrior in a game type of a feel, like a third-person game would give me, you know?
Get this feeling from an old kaiju movie of these.
It's more like I'm the overlord of this mindless army and I'm actually the brain of everybody, which is not something that appeals to me.
From an artistic point of view, we really want players to take away how big and bold we've really taken the franchise with this third game. We're really going
But you know, I could actually get into these games if they were a bit simpler and if I didn't have to spend a ton of time in the menus figuring out what I'm supposed to do with all the resources and what I can buy, what not, all those things. If I could understand all of that game mechanics, then maybe I'm gonna be a bit more interested, because like I said, I did play Total War Warhammer, Total War Rome, yeah. That was interesting to me, but because I didn't understand the other things.
That's it from this Total War Warhammer 3 event.
That was that
It
basically.
seems that there's a lot to get very excited about.
Now, maybe if the game wasn't that buggy, I would keep on going, but the game really was so buggy I can barely run it.
Keep an eye on the Total War social media channels and website. A final reminder that pre-orders are live and will include an additional free race pack. More details on this will be coming very soon. Things are just getting started, and we can't wait to share more with you very soon. From the Total War team and I, we really hope you enjoyed watching.
Okay, that was it, I guess. Yeah, I'll keep dreaming about that RPG game. Okay, but what do you think, guys? I mean, for those of you that are playing, you know, Total War games in general, I think that for Total War they really, you know, did a lot of leaps, so to speak. Because before there was not ability to zoom into armies and all of that, but now there is. And when Total War Rome came out, it was just a big deal. I gotta stop this. Yeah, that's from last night, sorry. Gotta stop it. Yeah, that's from the last night's reaction. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it because, yeah, what to do, and see what your guys are saying in the comments. Yeah, so I was going to say that back then everybody made a huge deal about the fact that you can zoom in on all the warriors and the faces were terrifying. It was so funny. And Angry Joe did his review and he took some shots from other players where, you know, ships went through sand and it was just hilarious. So that is how I remembered Total War games, from what happened there with that. It was just so fun. Okay, let me catch up with the comments. Company of Heroes might be interesting to me. Okay. Fighting. Interesting, okay. Diablo 2, no. I've seen some of the new paint on it, you can say, but no, I've played, I think, the last Diablo a bit, just to see how it is. I honestly have no idea why people like it so much. I played a bit of Hades too. Hades is interesting, very interesting. But you know, the thing is that when I have so many other games to focus on that are exactly my games, that are third or first person, I just have to prioritize. So even if I want to try Diablo on some of the other games, they always like are on the back of things, you know. And it's just how it happens. Yeah, nostalgia. Spyro? Oh, I'm not sure, Ferris, because I did get a copyright for the trailer, so I'm gonna get copyright for that too. Yeah, exactly. Too many games, not enough time, and the game's kind of piled up now because Days Gone is gonna come out any minute now. Well, I think in about 5 days. I can't get it yet, but the point is it's gonna come out. I want to finish, you know, Resident Evil, and after that, I have Necromunda. So that is like a must-play Warhammer game for me. It's finally first person, thank God. First or third, I'm gonna be happy. And what else? I think we had... Oh yeah, and that game, Biomutant, looks amazing. And Assassin's Creed DLC, which expansion, actually, that to me is like a priority because I'm still very into that game, damn it. So yeah, everything is like before everything else that is not third person or first person games. But at least I want to see the, you know, the cutscenes of Warhammer because, you know, we're gonna see the queen and the bear and the 100% there's gonna be some beefy story there to tell, which is mostly what I'm interested in anyway. And RTS strategies are well, what I never even touched at all. At least I touched Warhammer. Sorry. Total War, at least I touched that, but and at least I played the isometric some of those, but never ever have I played an RTS game. Warcraft, Starcraft, yeah, never played those. And yeah, exactly, Necromant, the Hired Gun, and Darktide as well. That too, so a lot of stuff actually. So guys, that's gonna be it for this showcase. I mean, for this type of strategy game, it might be the best yet. So there's that. Okay. The doll on the floor. Okay, so if I see a baby, run. Gotcha, gotcha. Well, since we are talking about that, yesterday there was a trailer for another sorry, it's live. And for some reason I'm thinking in Bulgarian right now, which usually the opposite, I'm thinking in English, but yeah, it was another Warhammer game that's like isometric like Diablo. So I also have to cover that. And I have to continue with freaking Resident Evil. So I'm gonna get ready for the village. I want to play it before it's too late. It's almost 8 o'clock now. So I'm gonna try to stream maybe in like 30 minutes from now. So if you want to see me be super scared again because of the stupid doll section of the game, yeah, I'm gonna start in 30 minutes. But that's gonna be it, guys, for now. So thank you very much for joining me for this live reaction. And oh, what is that? Oh. Oh, let me see. What about boobs? Where did you said something about boobs? I didn't see anything. Inquisitor. Oh yeah, I know about that game. Okay, so guys, let me not waste any time. As always, thank you super very much for watching. If you like to support me, you can check out my OnlyFans where I do my meaningful sex educational content, plus fitness and health, and of course Warhammer 40k original art, merch, everything is down below. And going to prepare for the stream now, so thank you very much guys, till next time with me, G Reviews. Bye bye.